What more do we need to say but to go on and bring on the main course? So, how do I say this? For today, I would like to alleviate the term minister. Those of you in the Nation of Islam, they know what minister means. In my mind, my brother is, first of all, a doctor in what he does. In my mind, he's a doctor in what he does. But second of all, in the Afro-descended nation, he is a senator. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
He is a senator who represents the people. Remember, when we came in, we talked about this movement being what? The people's movement. This is for the people. This is for them.
Yes, sir.
So what this information that he's going to give you, he's going to bring it to you. He's going to bring it to you from the perspective of government, a governmental man, a man representing you in a government sense.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that? I know it's new to us.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't do that. And in America, if you say senator or someone congressman, you're normally thinking, well, this person may be corrupted.
You might be corrupt.
Yeah, right? But now we're saying in the Afro-descended nation, we have been working for you, and you don't know we have. Building the government.
Yes, sir.
Devising a plan to get you reparations.
Yes, sir.
We're wise enough to understand that reparations comes from one nation to another.
Right.
So we're already on the way for you. That's what Sister was saying.
Right. Right.
We have already prepared the path.
Yeah.
Join on.
Going on.
Help out. Become active.
Yes, sir.
Disseminate information. Come and be a part of the community.
Right.
In your city, in your town, in your place. We're certainly going to start one here.
Yes, sir.
Big brothers, your big brother, Senator Najee Muhammad.
Greetings to you. But I have to give you the greetings in our mother tongue.
Yes, sir.
I can't help it.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam, sir.
That feels good.
Yes, sir.
I am moved by what I've seen and heard today.
Yes, sir.
Today is a great day. If our ancestors could look from their graves, they would clap their hands. My children is standing up for justice.
Yes, sir.
Look at my children. Oh, my children. Oh, my children is standing up for justice.
Yes, sir.
So my work will not be in vain. 310 years of blood, sweat, and tears. Oh, my children is standing up. Oh, they would be crying in their graves to know that one of their descendants, one of their children, have stood up for justice.
Yes, sir. Come on.
For all of us and for them. I feel so good today. I I am so proud to be in Philadelphia. I come here to spread the good news
That's right.
about our government.
Yes, sir.
Oh. They're going to tremble in their boots.
Yes, sir.
Just to know that we have come to roll out our government. We're going to call all of our people, come on, unify with us, and let's bring this Caucasian to justice.
Yes, sir.
He's just a two-legged human being. And I know some of you might say they're not going to give it to us. Based on your limited knowledge.
Prophecy. Come on.
Based on your limited knowledge.
Yes, sir.
You heard about the hurricane, right?
Yes, sir.
That's out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Don't nothing happen unless man calls it to happen.
That's right.
This is your day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the God of freedom, justice, and equality is on your side.
That's right.
And that God, and I'm going to bring it back to the political realm. But I have to break this down to you so you will be able to understand that we're going to win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the end, we're going to be winners.
Yes, sir.
In America, she's going to pay because she's in violation of international law.
That's right.
There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to pay. Because we have an equalizer with us today.
Come on. Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
No doubt whatsoever. I come to spread the good news
The good news.
about your government.
Yes, sir.
Our government.
We have a president,
Yes, sir.
vice president.
Yes, sir.
We have a Congress
Yes, sir.
working on your behalf, black man and woman.
That's right.
Come on up under the umbrella of the Afro-descendant government,
That's right.
and we can get it. We can get it.
That's right.
Have you ever heard of the term hidden in plain sight?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, the Caucasian hid it in plain sight.
That's right.
Now, what is that saying? Reparations is paid from one government to the another government.
Yes, sir.
So, Silas Muhammad, the Honorable Silas Muhammad, and the members of the Lost Foundation of Islam came together and formed a government. And we also have a constitution.
That's right.
Speak about it, sir.
John McCain. John McCain. You've heard of John McCain, Senator John McCain, right? Senator John McCain, great-great-grandfather owned slaves. But we have a government. And the United States is going to have to deal with that government. The same way she deals with other governments. Can you imagine when they learned that a government was formed right from up under their nose, and that black people want to govern themselves, black people want to separate from America, black people say that they want to be independent, and they want to control their own destiny, or else America will.
That's right.
We are tired of America.
Yes, sir.
We are sick and tired of her.
Yes, sir.
Been crying for justice for 460 years. Isn't that a long time to cry?
Too long.
Sir.
Come on.
Would a mother allow her baby to cry for 15 minutes? For 5 minutes? For 3 minutes? America has allowed us to cry for 460 years. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of people is this? Can you feel me?
Yes, sir.
Reparations. Reparations is an idea whose time has come.
Yes, sir.
If you was driving down Broad Street and someone ran a red light and hit your car, and your neck was broken in the process, shouldn't the driver of that car pay for the damage?
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't that driver pay for your pain and suffering?
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't that driver pay your medical bills?
Yes, sir.
What would you think about that driver if that driver didn't pay your medical bills and for your pain and suffering and the damage to your car? You would be angry, right?
Yes, sir.
Look what they done to our people. They stripped them of their names, religion, culture, history, language, and identity. Isn't that damage? Yes, that's damage. Being sold like cattle, stripped of their human rights, and worked without pay for 310 years proves that they were severely damaged. Can you imagine working for 310 years and not receiving any compensation?
Yes, sir.
Just think now. You work all year long, and you gave all of your money to Donald Trump. Wouldn't you be upset? I know I would be upset.
Yes, sir.
Let's look at this damage. And I'm working my way to where I want to be, and once I get there, you'll know, because you'll start feeling kind of warm inside.
Yes, sir.
I'm working my way there.
Take it down.
I'm from Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir.
The U.S. Capitol was built with slave labor.
That's right.
And today they have renovated or built a section on the Capitol called Emancipation Hall
Yes, sir.
to recognize those slaves who built the Capitol. Those slaves worked and they hoisted up the Statue of Freedom and put it on the dome of that built the White House and the Washington Monument, and carved out the roads for the nation's capital. We, me and you, descended from a people who came from over 200 different tribes and spoke over 200 different languages. Today, we, 40 million Afro-descendants, cannot speak our mother tongue because it was forcibly taken from our ancestors. We can't speak our language like other ethnic groups in America. Our case is unique from all other ethnic groups in America.
Sir.
They can speak their language, but you can't.
Right.
You descended from a people who spoke over 200 different languages. And it's been, your language has been reduced to zero.
Yes, sir.
Look at that damage. That's what I'm trying to show you. 200 different languages, and you cannot speak your mother tongue. Something happened to you. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to give you a backdrop on the history of how your language was taken. And after that, we're going to move to the international arena. We're going to show you the wisdom of the Honorable Silas Muhammad and why he went to the United Nations.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever figured out why we haven't received reparations yet?
Good point.
Good question.
In 2003, Harper's Magazine published a magazine, and the title of this magazine is Slave Reparations, an idea whose time has come. The nation's best tort lawyers explain how to sue the U.S. government, corporations, and citizens on behalf of American blacks. Where is your reparations? You sued the corporations. Where is your reparations? Who was sharp enough to see the wrongdoing of this government, the wrongdoing of America? I'm going to show you.
Yes, sir.
I want to skip it so bad, but I got to give you this backdrop first.
Come on.
So just bear with me. Is everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Take your time, Minister.
Bear with me. We're going to get there. And before you know it, you're going to be feeling warm inside. You're going to say, whoa. Now let's look at this history about this mother tongue, because that's where we're going. The slave maker knew that he couldn't make these people slaves until he first made them dumb. And one of the best ways to make a man dumb is to take his tongue,
Right.
take his language.
Right.
A man who can't talk, what do they call him? A dummy. Once your language is gone, you're a dummy. You can't communicate with people who are your relatives. You can never have access to information from your family. You just can't communicate.
Yes, sir.
Also, if you will notice, the natural tongue that one speaks is referred to as mother tongue.
That's right.
Mother tongue. And the natural intelligence that a person has before he goes to school is called mother with, not father with. It's called mother with, because everything a child knows before it gets to school, it learns from its mother.
Right.
Sir.
not his father. And if he never goes to school, whatever native intelligence it has, it got it primarily from his mother, not his father. So it's called mother with. And the mother is also the one who teaches the child how to speak its language. So that the natural tongue is called the mother tongue. Whenever you find as many people as we are who aren't able to speak any mother tongue, why? That's evidence right there that something was done to our mother. Something had to happen to her. Something terrible happened to our mother.
Yes, sir.
Something happened to her. Today you cannot speak your language. You descended from over 200 different tribes and spoke over 200 different languages. But today you cannot speak your mother tongue because something happened to your mother. They had laws in those days that made it mandatory for a black child to be taken from its mother as fast as the child was born. The mother never had a chance to rear it. The child would be brought up somewhere else away from the mother, so that the mother couldn't teach the child what she knew about itself, about her past, about its heritage. It would have to grow up in complete darkness, knowing nothing about the land where it came from, or the people that it came from, not even about its own mother. There was no relationship between the black child and its mother. It was against the law. And if the master would ever find any of those children who had any knowledge of its mother tongue, that child was put to death. They had to stamp it out. They had to stamp out the language. They did it scientifically. If they found any one of them that could speak it, off went their head. Or they would put it to death. They would kill it in front of the mother, if necessary. This history, this is how they took your language. You didn't lose it. It didn't evaporate. They took it with a scientific process because they knew they had to take it to make you dumb, or into the dummy that you and I now are. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Something happened to our mother. And we have to stand up and do justice for our mother.
That's right.
You know, we don't like for no one to talk about our mother. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
No, when you start playing the dozens, you know what the dozens is, right?
Yes, sir.
Talking about mother, right?
That's right.
You might go back and forth a little bit, but if your classmates step beyond the limits, it's going to be a fight.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying to you is that this Caucasian have stepped beyond the limits.
You found them out.
Oh, we got to bring him to justice.
That's right. Got to bring them to
We got to make our ancestors proud. We got to make our mother proud.
Yes, sir.
We got to do that. Make our mother proud.
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Silas Muhammad. I thank him for showing us the way. Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank Master Farad Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
I thank them for coming together. I thank Master Farad Muhammad for impregnating the mind of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for giving birth to the Honorable Silas Muhammad. I thank him. For he is showing us the way to govern ourselves.
Yes, sir.
He's showing us the way. That white man thought that he was going to continue what he was continuing forever. But a black man has stood up in America. Have stood up on your behalf. And he went to the United Nations, made over 30 trips, because he have an undying love for you.
Yes,
And he want to see you govern yourself
yes, sir.
like all other people. The Honorable Silas Muhammad's reparations petition was delivered to the United Nations in 1990. America, written by Professor Joe R. Fagan, talked about the human rights petition that was delivered to the United Nations. How is it that a white man can publish a book called Racist America and talk about this human rights petition, and we cannot get the black press to even mention him?
That's right.
The black press should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
You know that the white press is not going to advertise him or promote him or write about him. And here's a white man who published a book, and the name of the title of the book is Racist America. That's an indictment on you, black press.
Yes, sir.
You got to get on your job because you slipping.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm coming from a statement here by the Honorable Silas Muhammad. And the title is, We Are Human Beings. The United Nations holds categories of 3 different types of groups of people. One is a minority. That's a term politically attached to a group of people who live within a country and who migrated to that country after and or during the time when that country became a constituted government. The Jews here in America are a good example of a minority. There is another group called national minority. The national minority is a term politically attached to a group of people who are in a country, who resides there and live there and have been there prior to or before that government became a formalized or constituted government. It seems you ought to fit this term since you were here prior to America becoming a constituted government. The United Nations say that it has to find out where you fit. Why? Because minorities and national minorities have one thing in common. What is that? They have politically recognized human rights. They're inalienable human rights. What are they? The right to speak their own tongue. That tongue which began at the time when they were developing as a people. they have an inherent right to their mother tongue. You had a mother's tongue. Why aren't you considered a national minority by the United Nations? It was taken away. Now he's talking about your mother tongue, your language.
Yes, sir.
Another category is peoples, indigenous people. The UN classified some of the American Indians as peoples. The white majority took Canada and America from them. So the United Nations does not call them minority or national minority. It's called them peoples. As a peoples, they are entitled to their language. You are neither peoples, a majority, a minority, nor a national minority. What language do you speak at home and teach your children? Is it not English? Then whose language are you reproducing? What religion do you practice and teach your children? Is it not Christianity? Then whose religion are you reproducing? What culture do you emulate as best as you can and set probable examples for your children to follow? Is it not that of the Anglo-American?
Yes, sir.
Are you not then reproducing the culture, religion, and language of the slave masters of your forefathers and not your own?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Master.
What law did the U.S. government violate? That's what we want to know. What law did they violate? When the Honorable Silas Muhammad went to the United Nations, he discovered that the UN simply did not view African Americans at all. He saw that African Americans did not fit into the category or minority because they did not have their mother tongue, culture, and religion. These things had been taken by force. Because they did not fit in the UN system, African Americans had no UN recognized human rights.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Muhammad realized that the road to reparation would lie in demonstrating that the enslaved Africans were forcibly denied their mother tongue. And through that act, their original identity has been utterly destroyed. The United Nations experts are well aware that the language is the way a people preserve their religion and culture. Therefore, mother tongue is the essence of reparations are due. This is the legal foundation under international law. Since the U.S. government cannot restore our mother tongue, Congress and President Obama should speak with the Honorable Silas Muhammad and representatives from the Afro-descended government about reparations. America will argue that it would not apply a modern-day law to a historical act, meaning slavery. The Honorable Silas Muhammad took a modern-day violation that America committed and applied it to a modern-day law. What is that modern-day law that America violated? She violated Article 27 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. We're going international now. She has shown us what she has done to our sister, Deidre Farmer, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
She tried to sue the corporations, right?
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
That was domestic, right?
That's right.
When you are seeking human rights, where do you go?
International Court.
You go international, right?
That's right.
You don't go to Congress. Congress deals with civil rights. You go international. You go to the United Nations.
That's
Come on
right.
now, sir. I feel the heat.
Feel the heat. All
Yes, sir.
right.
Getting hot.
America is in violation of Article 27 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights.
That's right.
In those states in which ethnic, religious, or linguistic minorities exist, persons belonging to such minorities shall not be denied the right in community with the other members of their group to enjoy their own culture, to profess and practice their own religion, or to use their own language. Can you speak your mother tongue?
No, sir.
Well, let me tell you a little story. In 1966, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. In 1976, it became enforceable.
Yes, sir.
In 1992, the U.S. Senate ratified that covenant. Now, it took 26 years before she signed it, before she ratified this covenant. Why did she wait so long? Malcolm was assassinated. Dr. King was assassinated. The Black Panther Party was wiped out.
Yes, sir.
The Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he passed away. J. Edgar Hoover had wiped out all the black organizations. It was almost like someone sending a fire inspector or assessor or an adjuster to look at the damage. We can sign it now. There's no one that can stop it. We can sign it now. And the U.S. Senate signed or ratified the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights.
That's right.
And that means that it was become binding.
Yes, sir.
You know how you sign something and don't look at the fine print? That's what America did.
That's right.
And we are on the road to reparations.
That's right.
I don't think you hear me.
Make it plain, man.
Say it louder, sir.
We are on the road to reparations.
That's right.
Sir.
We have a legal right,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and we have a government that can sit down and talk with America.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Come on, sir. I feel the heat.
Do you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
The U.S. Senate, when they ratified that covenant, they slit their own throat. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Let me go. Let me show you something. I have a book, and the title of this book is called Conversation with Rabbi Small. And this rabbi and this scientist was talking about when this Messiah, when he returned, where would he go? Would he go to Jerusalem? When I looked in this book, I didn't see Jerusalem. Not this Messiah. He wouldn't go to Jerusalem. In this book, it say that he would go to an organization like unto the United Nations. I know you ain't never heard this. Y'all, I don't think you can hear me.
Say it loud.
Let me read it to you. The rabbis set certain limits to our thinking about the Messiah. One is that the Messiah is a man of men. That implies that his coming will produce a political and social revolution of some kind. A political, not a religious, a political and social revolution.
Come on, man.
And you know when the black men stand up in unity and demand reparations, don't you know that's going to set off a political and social revolution in America?
That's right.
It could come as the result of a constant improvement in human affairs. Or it could result from a reaction to great trouble and misery. But in either case, that could come about through some organization like the United Nations. I know the preacher talks about Jesus being a religious man, right?
Yes, sir.
But the rabbi them is talking about a political man.
That's right.
Standing before every nation.
That's right.
That's right.
Standing before every nation.
That's right.
They reckon are going to be read.